What if I told you that the way you've been taking care of your body for decades might now be quietly working against you? If you're a man over 60, this might be one of the most important conversations you'll ever hear about your health, your intimacy, and your well-being. Because here's the truth. Many older men are unknowingly making the same 7 mistakes, not dramatic or obvious ones, but subtle habits that seem harmless. Habits that were perfectly fine in your younger years. But today, they could be draining your energy, dulling your senses, and slowly pulling you away from the pleasure, confidence, and connection your body is still capable of. This isn't just about sex. It's about presence, about learning how to respond to your body's real needs at this stage of life, and about reclaiming your right to feel alive, grounded, and satisfied, even when no one else is watching. So if you've ever felt like something's missing, like what used to feel good now feels rushed, disconnected, or just not the same, stay with me, because we're going to break down each of these 7 common mistakes. And more importantly, you'll learn exactly how to fix them simply mindfully and in a way that feels good again. Mistake 1. Believing in the semen retention myth. Let's start with one of the most persistent and misleading ideas out there, one that's especially common among men over 60. It's the belief that holding back ejaculation will somehow boost your energy, increase your testosterone, sharpen your focus, or even enhance your masculinity. You've probably seen this idea floating around online. Maybe you've even tried it yourself. And while it might sound empowering on the surface, the truth, it's outdated, it's oversimplified, and in many cases, it's quietly doing more harm than good. Yes, short periods of abstinence can cause temporary shifts in hormones like testosterone, but those changes are just that, temporary. More importantly, your body was never designed to withhold its natural functions for extended periods. When you suppress your sexual release for days, weeks, or even months, especially after 60, you're not strengthening your body. You're stressing it. This kind of suppression can lead to pelvic congestion, increased irritability, difficulty sleeping, even a higher risk of prostate issues. And for men in their later years, those aren't just uncomfortable side effects. They're warning signs. You see, regular healthy ejaculation supports hormone regulation. It reduces tension. It helps the prostate function properly. And yes, it even contributes to better sleep. So the idea that control equals strength, it's misleading. Real strength at this age means listening to your body, respecting its signals, honoring what it actually needs, not what someone on the internet says you should do. Think of it this way. Stretching isn't weakness. Breathing deeply isn't indulgence. And neither is mindful self-pleasure. When done with care, it becomes an act of grounding, of emotional release, of real connection, not just with your body, but with your sense of self. So ask yourself, are you holding back because you believe it makes you stronger? Or are you ready to let go of that myth and discover what true balance feels like? Because once you do, you may realize the energy, the confidence, the clarity you've been chasing through restraint was always available through release. Mistake 2. Using the same technique. Every time. Let's be honest, habits bring comfort, especially the ones we've carried with us for years, even decades. But when it comes to self-pleasure, comfort can quietly become a trap. Many men over 60 fall into the routine of using the exact same grip, the same pressure, the same rhythm every single time. And while it may feel familiar, it can gradually work against you. Here's why. Your nervous system is smart. It adapts. And when it gets used to one single type of stimulation, it begins to expect only that type. That means your body becomes conditioned not to pleasure in general, but to that one specific pattern. And over time, this can dull your sensitivity. It can make it harder to stay engaged, harder to climax, even harder to connect intimately with a partner. You might start feeling frustrated, disconnected, even question your masculinity or performance. But the problem isn't you. It's the repetition, the solution. It's far simpler than most men think. Add variety, switch things up, change your hand, alter the pressure, try a slower pace, experiment with new motions. And if you're open to it, consider safe, appropriate tools designed to help stimulate in different ways. This isn't about abandoning what works. It's about expanding what's possible. Just like muscles respond to new exercises, your sense of pleasure thrives when you introduce fresh sensations. This isn't about chasing novelty for the sake of it. It's about staying present with your body and respecting that it evolves just like you do. So if you've been stuck in the same rhythm, if every experience feels a little too predictable, it might be time to wake your senses back up. With just a little curiosity and a willingness to shift your approach, you can begin to feel things more fully, more deeply, and more meaningfully. Mistake 3. Rushing through the experience. Let's go back for a moment. Back to when you were younger, when time was tight, privacy was rare, and habits were shaped by urgency. Back then you learned to rush, to get it over with, to treat the experience like something secret, even shameful. But now you're older, wiser, and that old pattern rushing through self-pleasure like it's a race is doing you more harm than good. For men over 60, rushing turns what could be a rich, relaxing experience into a mechanical act. You go straight for release, skipping over sensation connection, and even enjoyment. And here's what happens when you rush. Your body doesn't get the chance to build arousal. Your mind doesn't stay in the moment. You hit the finish line without ever taking the journey. Over time, this creates a sense of flatness. You feel underwhelmed, disengaged, emotionally distant from what should be a deeply personal experience. But there's another way, and it begins by slowing down. Slowing down invites your body to reawaken. It brings your nervous system into alignment. It allows your breath to deepen, your muscles to soften, and your senses to come alive again. It turns a moment of habit into one of presence, of pleasure, of nourishment. Try this. Breathe deeply. Let your touch be intentional, not automatic. Explore at a pace that allows every part of you to be involved, not just physically, but emotionally too. This isn't about taking more time just for the sake of it. It's about experiencing more within that time. It's about rediscovering pleasure as something whole, not just the final moment. And here's the best part. The more present you are, the more satisfaction you feel. Not just in your body, but in your heart. Because you're finally giving yourself what you truly deserve: attention, care, and connection. So if your experience has felt rushed lately, if you're left wondering why it feels more like a task than a gift, try slowing it all down. You may be surprised by what returns when you finally stop racing. Mistake 4. Ignoring the rest of your body. Here's a truth most men never hear. Your body is more than just one source of pleasure. It's an entire map of sensations, emotions, and hidden sparks waiting to be explored. But if you're like many older men, you've spent years, maybe even decades, focusing only on one small area. That narrow focus. It's not just limiting your pleasure, It's cutting you off from everything else your body is capable of feeling. Let's step back and take a wider view. Your body is filled with nerve endings on your chest, your inner thighs, your lower abdomen, your neck, even the perineum. And when you explore those areas, something changes. You begin to feel more alive, more aware, more connected. Touch becomes something deeper, not just physical, but emotional. It invites you to slow down, to pay attention, to feel present. This isn't about being experimental or strange. It's about honoring yourself, all of yourself. It's about understanding that pleasure can come from softness, from warmth, from rhythm, from the simple act of being in tune with your full body. Try using your fingertips to trace your skin. Let a warm towel rest across your chest. Use temperature pressure or gentle massage to awaken areas you may have ignored. Even something as simple as shifting your focus to your breath can open the door to a richer experience. When you limit pleasure to one place, it becomes predictable. And predictable quickly becomes dull. But when you include more of yourself, your torso, your limbs, your breath, your awareness, you invite more pleasure in, more presence, more emotion. This isn't about doing more, it's about feeling more. And the more you connect with your full body, the more satisfying, nourishing, and deeply grounding your experience becomes. So ask yourself what parts of your body have been waiting for your attention. What sensations have been quietly waiting for permission to return? When you stop ignoring the rest of your body, you stop missing out on the fullness of who you are. Mistake 5. Avoiding lubrication. Let's clear up a common misconception right now. Lubrication isn't just for intimacy with a partner. It's one of the most powerful tools you can use to protect, preserve, and even improve your solo experience, especially as you get older. You see, as we age, our skin becomes thinner, more sensitive, and less elastic. This means friction that once felt fine can now lead to irritation, redness, or even small tears. Many older men chalk this up to just getting old, but the truth is it's avoidable. Completely avoidable. The number one solution, lubrication. But here's where the real mistake comes in. Too many men skip it. They think it's messy, or only necessary for real sex, or they're embarrassed to even buy it. But avoiding lube isn't just a minor oversight. It can create long-term issues. You might begin to associate touch with discomfort, or even worse, you might stop altogether, simply because it doesn't feel good anymore. The right lubricant can completely change that. It reduces friction, enhances sensitivity, and makes the entire experience smoother, gentler, and far more pleasurable. It helps you stay relaxed, stay present, stay connected to what your body truly needs. And it's not just about sensation. Lube protects your skin. It helps prevent irritation that can take days to heal. And that protection matters especially if you're experiencing age-related skin thinning or dryness. Choosing a good quality skin-safe lubricant, like a water-based or silicone-based formula, can make a world of difference. And here's something most people don't realize: lubrication can actually help you last longer. Because it slows things down, makes movement more fluid, and gives your nervous system space to enjoy the experience without rushing to the finish. So if you've been skipping it, thinking it's not for you, it's time to rethink that. You deserve comfort. You deserve pleasure without pain. And you deserve to give your body what it needs to feel good at every age. Don't let pride or habit keep you from enjoying something so simple, so helpful, and so powerful. The right lube isn't an extra. It's essential self-care. Mistake 6, failing to breathe properly. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? breathing. We do it all day, every day. And yet, when it comes to pleasure, especially solo pleasure, most men completely forget how to breathe. They hold their breath. They tense up. They rush through the moment with shallow, tight inhales, and then wonder why the experience feels forced, disconnected, or oddly unfulfilling. But here's the truth. Your breath is the bridge between your body and your mind. It's the tool that anchors you in the present, deepens your awareness, and unlocks your ability to truly feel. When you forget to breathe, you're not just cutting off oxygen, you're cutting off sensation. You're limiting your body's ability to relax, to receive, and to enjoy. Deep, steady breathing does more than keep you alive. It changes your entire nervous system. It tells your brain, hey, we're safe. It lowers stress, increases blood flow, and brings you out of your head and into your body where real pleasure lives. The biggest mistake men make is treating solo time like a sprint. But this isn't a race, it's a practice, and breathing is the foundation. Try this. Next time you're alone and touching yourself, take a slow breath in through your nose. Hold it for just a moment, and let it out long and easy through your mouth. Do this again, and again. Let the breath guide your pace. Let it soften your body. Let it bring you into deeper connection. And you'll notice something remarkable. Everything begins to feel better, more alive, more whole. You won't just be stimulating one part of your body. You'll be awakening your entire being. And the experience won't just feel good, it will feel real. So please don't skip your breath. It's not extra. It's not optional. It's one of the most powerful tools you have to access. Deeper pleasure, stronger release, and a fuller sense of self. Mistake 7: chasing performance over connection. This might be the most common mistake of all, and it's one that's deeply ingrained, especially in men. The idea that intimacy, whether with a partner or with yourself, is about performance. We've been conditioned to believe we have to do it right, to last long enough, to be hard enough, to climax just the right way at just the right time. And that pressure, it kills connection. It pulls you out of your body, out of the moment, and into your head. Suddenly, instead of feeling, you're judging. Instead of enjoying, you're measuring. And instead of experiencing real pleasure, you're chasing some imagined standard. But here's the truth, there's no scoreboard. You're not in a competition. You're not being graded. When you treat solo time like a performance, you lose sight of what actually matters. Connection. With your breath, with your body, with your emotions, and yes, with your desire. Real intimacy, true satisfaction comes from tuning in, not showing off. It's not about doing it perfectly. It's about doing it honestly. So ask yourself this: the last time you were alone with yourself, were you present? Were you breathing? Were you kind to yourself? Or were you racing toward the finish line trying to prove something to no one? Because that's what performance mindset does. It disconnects you from yourself, from your needs, from your ability to feel real joy. But when you shift the focus from how you're doing to how you're feeling, everything changes. You soften, you relax. You start to notice the small things, the warmth, the rhythm, the pleasure that builds slowly and meaningfully. And that is where the magic lives. So let go of the checklist, forget the performance, and come home to yourself. Because you don't need to impress anyone. You just need to connect. If you've made it this far, I want you to pause and take a deep breath. Because this conversation was never just about mistakes. It was about healing, about rediscovery, about reclaiming your relationship with your body and your sense of self. Maybe some of these insights hit home. Maybe you're seeing things differently now, and that's exactly what growth looks like. But don't let it stop here. You deserve to keep learning, keep evolving, and keep treating yourself with the care and respect you've always needed, but maybe didn't know how to give. So here's what I ask from you. If this helped even a little, drop a 1 in the comments. If it didn't resonate, hit 0. I want to hear from you. And if you want more honest, empowering conversations like this, conversations no one else is having, but everyone needs to click subscribe and turn on notifications. Because your body doesn't come with a manual. But this channel, it might be the next best thing. Let's keep growing. Let's keep talking.